If you told me 10 years ago that a Rabbids game, aka a game filled with Minions wannabes, would make my top 10 games of all time, I would have thought you were insane. But here we are, and I am so glad this game exists. Sparks of Hope provides that Paper Mario itch I've been craving, and I am still baffled with how great it is. With the Tower of Doom DLC released, I thought now would be a better time than ever to provide my own party member ranking list, especially since a lot of people keep sleeping on my number one character. Without further ado, let's go! Number 9, Rabbid Luigi. I'm going to be honest, I never gave Rabbid Luigi a fair shot. I couldn't get a good feel for how far his frisbee can ricochet off enemies, and in the early stages of the game, his exhaust technique didn't seem helpful. Even when looking at exhaust now, I don't like how close I need to be to the enemy's front lines to use the effect. Considering how much of a punch those Wild Claws can dish out too, just thinking about sending Rabbid Luigi so close to them gives me some uneasiness. That being said, after seeing some character guides, now I can fully see his potential. But considering how I went through 99% of the game without using him, it's fair to say that Rabbid Luigi can just speed donuts his way out of here. Number 8. Edge. Like Rabbid Luigi, I don't think I gave Edge enough of a chance. Although, whenever Edge was in my party, she was not good. I think it has to do something with my playing style, but I find that a lot of Edge's attacks are very situational based. Yes, she can deal a lot of damage within a short range, but at least when I play, I like to keep my distance. And since Edge is at her best when up and close with enemies, I had to rethink my entire game plan when she was forced into my party. Needless to say, the one battle where they forced Rabbid Mario and Edge onto you was not a good time for me. Although, that encounter taught me that equipping the invisible spark onto her was essential for dealing out some nasty Stormblade damage. While some can consider her a high risk, high reward character, she's just too much risk for me to consistently rely on in battle, so she unfortunately has to get placed low. Number 7. Bowser. So Bowser suffers from what I like to call Haru Okumura syndrome. That's to say that he joins your party so late into the game that you don't really get a chance to experiment with him much. At least for me, whenever I go through a first playthrough of a game, once I find a team that fits all my needs, I'm hesitant to mix it up. By the time Bowser joins, I already established a good party, so there was no real need to experiment with his playstyle. That being said, whenever I did use him, I found that he was too reckless for me. From slow movement to weapon damage breaking all forms of cover, Bowser is a wild cannon that just doesn't fit my gameplay style well. Although, I'll give credit where it's due. Being able to apply damage upon landing from a team jump is always nice. And his Rabbid Koopas provides an interesting layer of strategy to target enemies that creep up on you. Like Edge, Bowser's strengths are heavily situational based, but at least his attacks are more consistent to predict, which ranks him higher than Rabbid Luigi and Edge.
Come here.
Number 6. Rabbid Mario. Now we get to the part of the list where I see great potential in every character, but it really comes down to my playstyle. Rabbid Mario has a lot of great assets going for him. For starters, he has the best movement in the game, has the highest health compared to any other party member, and unique to Rabbid Mario, he can still move after dealing damage to any enemy. As for his combat, he has a nice blend of up close and distant attacks. For the most part, his weapon, the Dukes, can deal a lot of damage to a lot of foes, if they're within close range. And for his technique, he can counter enemies' attacks from afar, which can be extremely helpful for knocking off some enemy health. Clearly, Rabbid Mario is designed to be a tank, and I'd say he's the best party member in terms of dealing close-up damage. Though as you can probably guess, that's also why I have to place him so low. While up-close combat isn't my forte, I can see why others see him as a valuable party member, because he has so much going on for him. Number 5. Rabbid Rosalina. Rabbid Rosalina is a character I wish I used more often. From having the highest dash damage in the game, to unleashing 15 rounds of ammo every time she strikes, Rabbid Rosalina makes for an excellent defensive character. Compared to the rest of the cast, her technique, Ennui, yes, I had to Google how to pronounce it, causes foes to sleep and can prevent enemies from performing actions for 2 turns. Of course, OP skills like this would come with a large cooldown, but to make up for it, you can upgrade her dash attacks to automatically cast it on foes without having to wait 4 turns to recharge. While I didn't use Rabbid Rosalina much, she did get me out of some tricky situations every now and then, by allowing my party to beef up while foes were sleeping. Oh, and as a personal note, I just love seeing her fangirl whenever Rosalina is around. It's so heartwarming. With that, Rabbid Rosalina is a great defensive party member, but our main goal here is to actually eliminate enemies on the field, not just make them sleep. So while I respect her unique moveset, she's only used as a buffer, so our 4 remaining characters can actually unleash damage. Number 4. Luigi. I don't know about you guys, but I feel that all the battles in Pristine Peaks were specifically designed to have Luigi in your party. Seriously, World 2 just loved using those sniper wolves, so Luigi was a perfect match to take them out. While Luigi can only dash once per turn and has one of the lowest health points in the game, he greatly makes up for these weaknesses with his sharpshooter. Specifically designed to be played from afar, Luigi can deal up to 2,000 points of damage if he's far away enough from the enemy. This is perfect for players like me who get rewarded for striking from a distance. Not only that, but Luigi's Steely Stare can activate 3 different shots in the same turn, which is absolutely insane. I know his shot can also be upgraded to ignore barriers, but to be honest, it wasn't the most reliable for me, so I got rid of that upgrade quickly. Anyway, Luigi is an absolute unit, and he carried my team a lot in the first 2 worlds. Although, as enemies started to group up together from Pala Prime onwards, I needed better methods of attack, which leads to our number 3 spot. Number 3. Peach. Enemies start to get into a nasty habit of grouping themselves together from World 3 onwards. As someone who likes to strike from afar, I found that Peach was the perfect solution to handle most enemy encounters later in the game. Using her Boombrella, probably the most creative weapon in the game, it has a disgustingly large area of effect when striking foes. Despite dealing less damage the further away an enemy is, it can still deal a lot of damage really quickly. Especially when paired up with a spark to target an enemy's weakness, Peach just does a stupid amount of damage, and I love it. But of course, that's not all she's packing. Peach's technique is her Team Barrier, which allows allies to receive 0 damage from incoming attacks. What's great here is that the Team Barrier cooldown can be reduced to 1 turn, which is great for sticky situations. Even if 1 turn is too long, she can earn extra barriers by defeating enemies, or provide some to allies by simply team jumping off them. Strategically, what I also did is just put more of my area of effect in defensive sparks on her. This way, she could reliably eliminate enemies up close without having to worry about taking a lot of follow-up damage. Now, I might be hyping up Peach a lot, but there's 2 characters remaining whose offensive abilities greatly helped with wiping out enemies. Number 2. Mario. Star-Lord, Mario, has some of the best defensive abilities in the game. First off, his dual slingers can allow you to target 2 different enemies from afar, which is great for striking at a distance. Since Mario gets 2 shots, I found that I was always equipping my elemental weapon sparks onto him, because he would be able to significantly lower the health of 2 enemies at once. Now, attacking twice in the same turn is neat and all, but easily the best part of Mario's moveset is his Hero Sight ability. When upgraded, Mario can use Hero Sight multiple times in one turn, which is really satisfying to pull off if you position him right. As long as Mario is able to strike down a foe with Hero Sight, he will continue to shoot until it does not defeat an enemy. I swear, there were times where Mario was taking down 8 enemies in a single turn because of this, and it was always great to watch. Not only that, but you can upgrade Hero Sight to basically have a 0 turn cooldown, which means you can have Mario perform it every single turn, which is a huge advantage. Ironically, I never ended up using his Stomp Jump, but Hero Sight and his Dual Slingers were really only needed to clear out enemies quickly. Although, there is one more character on this list who performs better by a slight margin, and it's none other than the Rabbid Princess herself. Number 1. Rabbid Peach. That's right, the best party member in Sparks of Hope is Rabbid Peach. Not only does she perfectly capture the Mario Striker's charged Peach aesthetic, but in my eyes, what makes a party member great is being consistent and adaptable in any situation. While most party members excel in one area or the other, Rabbid Peach greatly excels in both criteria. For consistency, Rabbid Peach will land a hit 99% of the time. Since her weapon, Triple Troll, shoots out 3 missiles in a parabolic shape, it can easily guarantee at least 1 hit by either destroying enemy cover or flying over it completely. Because of this, I could consistently rely on her to land a hit when I needed it most. As for adaptability, I was surprised with how versatile she was. For close combat, she has 3 dash attacks readily available, which makes it a no-brainer to always have an elemental dash spark equipped, so she can target enemies' weaknesses. On top of that, if she wipes out an enemy with her Triple Troll, she can recover 20% of her health, which is just amazing. Speaking of healing, she can heal the entire party when your allies need it most. The cooldown is pretty low, and if you really need to, she can heal just by landing from a team jump too. In all honesty, because of Rabbid Peach, she allowed me to recover from some stupid decisions, and even allowed me to experiment with different strategies, because I knew she could consistently support the party and easily allow me to adapt to any situation thrown my way. And that concludes my official party member ranking list for Sparks of Hope. Let me know in the comments how you would rank each character, because I'm sure there's some who disagree with my list. I'm also curious to see where Rayman will place once he eventually gets released. But until then, maybe you can spark my hope by pressing that subscribe button to see more Nintendo rankings and top 10s in the future.